欢迎跟我学中文。今天我们讨论 the most common words that are associated with past and present continuous tense, what they are and how they are used. First up, 在. It's short for 正在, but most of the time, especially in speaking, we just say 在. 他在聊电话. He's chatting with someone on the phone. He's on the phone. 聊电话. It's important to know that 在 is not some functional word without meaning. It's a proper content word, very common, and brings the meaning of exist, existing, real, life, either when it's used on its own or in combo with other characters. 你在吗? Are you there? This is when you have a dodgy phone line or a Zoom connection, the other person's voice or image is on and off, and you have to check every second minute if they're still there. To say something is currently in action, you say 在 followed by an action word. 他在闹. He's having a tantrum. Having a tantrum live. 他在吃饭. She's having a meal. Having a meal at this moment. 我在想买不买. I'm thinking whether to buy or not. Thinking to buy or not currently. That's 在 for something currently in action. Then we learned 这. This one is a functional word and has no meaning on its own. It has two uses. One is to add an accompanying event. It always follows an action word, indicating that this is also happening at the same time. For example, 她笑着说没有. She said with a smile, we don't have it. She said it while she's smiling. This is an accompanying event. She could have just said, we don't have, but she said it with a smile. Another example, 看着她，我在想，我很喜欢她. While looking at her, I was thinking, I really like her. Again, this is an accompanying event. It could have been simply, I was thinking, I really like her. But it was while I was looking at her that I had that idea. In episode 15, we have 帮着把东西收起来, helping to have the things packed up. To pack up is the main event. Helping is another thing that we can achieve by doing the packing up. The second use of 这 is to say that an event is in a state of regular, routine, repetitive or long-term condition over a period of time or for a particular moment. For example, 他每天都想着工作. He every day thinks about work. He thinks about his work every day. His work is in his mind every day. 想着, the thinking is regular and constant and every day. 那天她穿着什么衣服? That day, she was wearing what clothes? What clothes was she wearing on that day? What was she wearing on that day? 穿着 refers to a relative static state of how she was dressed. Note that wearing here is not putting on clothes. It only means what clothes is currently on a person. If you say someone is putting on clothes, you'd use 在, the one for events currently in action. Compare she's wearing a dress. Is wearing something is a static state how one is dressed. So you use 着. She's putting on clothes. Putting on something is an event in action. You use 在. So you would say 她穿着条裙子. 她在穿衣服. She's wearing a dress. She's putting on clothes. So that's one big difference of 着 and 在. The other difference is, of course, that only 着 can be used for this purpose. In the previous two examples, 着 follows an action word. However, for this use, 着 more often follows a description word. For example, 活着真好. 活, alive, a descriptive word. 活着, being alive, being a living being. 那房子一直空着. That house all along vacant constantly. 空, empty, unoccupied. In these two examples, 着 indicates that alive or empty, is an ongoing state. This is actually the bigger use of 着. So that's 在 and 着. Then we have 正, which is the same word as the one in 正在. 正 is simple. It's for an as we speak, right at the moment event that is coincidental, and you mention it usually in response to someone's unrelated address to you. For example, a colleague asks if she could have a word with you, and just so happened that you have been wanting to catch up with her too. So you might say, "Oh, I was just about to come and see you." Or in a football season, one morning at breakfast, someone of your family asked you about last night's match scores. You don't know, and you were about to ask them. So you might say, "I was going to ask you." For these two events, you use 正. 我正要找你. I was just about to come and see you. I'm just wanting to seek you out. We learned this word in episode 16. 我正想问你. I was just thinking to ask you. I was going to ask you. That's the use of 正. Then we have 正 something something 着. This essentially is a 着 event being right at the moment as we speak kind of thing. Remember, 着 has two uses, one of which being that it states something in a regular or long-term mode. This is the one that is usually in this wrapper. The words in wraps is usually limited to the group that such events are applicable, and such phrase again is usually a response to something at a particular moment. For example, 忙, being busy, 忙着, in a state of being busy. 正忙着, being in a state of busy as we speak. 我正忙着, I'm really busy right now. I'm in the middle of something. You usually say this when you have to tell someone that you can't attend immediately to whatever being asked of you. A moment ago, we have this example. 那房子一直空着. 一直 all along. If you say 正空着, it would mean it's currently unoccupied as we speak. If this is your house and you are happy for a visiting friend to use it for a few days, you could say, 那房子正空着，你可以住几天. Similar phrases that are commonly heard include, 我正等着你啊. I'm waiting for you right here as we speak. The undertone of this is, where the hell have you been? Are you coming? 他正赶着去上班. He's rushing to work at this very moment. 我正想着给你电话. I'm just thinking giving you a call as we speak. So in summary, 在 is a content word as well as a function word used for events currently in action. 着 is a function word only used for an accompanying event or events in a constant state of ongoing long-term existence. 正 is for right at the moment, coincidental, as we speak kind of events, often used to tell people just so happened that something is also going on. 正 something something 着 is for an 着 state that is currently active as we are talking. For the next grammar episode, we discuss the four functions of 的. If you find this content useful, please like this video to support my channel. 多谢各位的陪伴，我们下次见。